Hi there, Misfits. I am here today to talk to you all about the Oh My God series. Are you ready? One of the questions I get asked all the time is, where did I come up with the idea? What was the inspiration for the Oh My God series? It's actually a funny story. So you may not know, but Eye Candy, the first book in the City Chick series, was the second book that I ever wrote. And in that book, you meet the character Bethany, who stars in Straight Stock, the third book I wrote. Straight Stock is based on Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. So Bethany gets to work on a show that is very similar to that. It is a group of gay men who are making over straight men. And while I was working on that book, I needed to come up with a title, a name for that show. Because obviously it couldn't be Queer Eye for the Straight Guy because that was taken. So I was researching a lot of reality TV show titles at the time, trying to see how I could play with the title to make it work for the name of this show. And one of the reality shows that was on at the time was called Growing Up Gotti, which was on A&E, and it was about the mob boss John Gotti's daughter and his grandsons. And I was playing with the title and I thought, oh, you can play with that and make it Growing Up Godly. That was a really cool title. Then I was like, oh, but you'd have to have someone growing up. So that's why it was a YA book. And there would have to be a godly component. And since I don't write religious fiction, I had always been a fan of the Greek gods, I was like, obviously, there's a girl growing up, something to do with the Greek gods. So basically, that was the inspiration that led me to write the first draft of this book, which was titled Growing Up Godly. Um, and eventually became Oh My Gods because that's a more fun title. So Growing Up Godly became Oh My Gods, my first published book, and it came out in hardcover in 2008. And this was the hardcover. If you look at it, maybe you can guess and figure out why there were some bookstores, including a really large chain that starts with B, didn't want to carry it. It's a naked dude on the cover. Even though his parts are covered, even though it's a Greek statue, a real Greek statue. I'll try to link below to show you what the actual statue looks like. Um, so the stores didn't want to carry the cover because it's a teen book with a naked dude on the cover. So that's why if you get the paperback, it has this super cute cover. So this is the first, so Oh My Gods is the first book. And it's about a girl named Phoebe Castro whose mother gets remarried. It's her senior year of high school. Her mother gets remarried, and her new husband happens to be the headmaster of a tiny school on a tiny island in the Aegean off the coast of Greece. So all of a sudden, right before her senior year, she's moving halfway around the world to go to the school. And when she gets there, she gets off the boat and they're like, oh, yeah, we have to tell you one more thing before you get off the boat on this island and go to the school. Everyone else at the school is a descendant of the Greek gods and they have powers. So that's how Oh My God starts. The second book in the series is called Goddess Boot Camp. I cannot tell you anything about it without spoiling Oh My Gods for you, which I won't do. But this is the hardcover, and then this is the paperback, which, like, they're very similar. Apparently, they're fine with, teen girl legs and combat boots, and not naked statues. But the second story is also about Phoebe and her adventures on the island. And then in that series, you meet this girl named Nicole, who is very mysterious about who she is a descendant of. Um, and like it's a secret for a long time. Well, I finally wrote this book called Goddess in Time that is a story about Nicole and it reveals all of her secrets. And so those are the three books that are in the series right now. I will say originally, after I wrote Oh My Gods, I had an idea that the next two books in this series would be about Phoebe's two best friends from California who are not godly, Nola and Cheska. Like, I thought they would be the next stories, but when I wrote Oh My Gods, my publisher was like, and we'd like a sequel. We want to know more about Phoebe. So that's why we have two books about Phoebe and someday a third. Um, and so that brings me to talking about future plans for the series. I've always wanted there to be a lot of books in the series. Um, like I think every character in the books should have their own book. So I could see there being like a huge franchise of books in the series. As of right now, in August of 2019, I'm planning on doing a series of novellas about the secondary characters, just like Goddess in Time is a novella about Nicole. I'm working on one right now about Griffin. Um, and then I also have plans for those story ideas I had for Phoebe's friends, Nola and Cheska, to become novellas. So that's for sure happening. I also have a plan for a third book about Phoebe. I have the premise. I just have to like work out the story and then get it written. So hopefully you'll find out more about that. If you don't want to miss any updates about the series, you definitely need to subscribe to my newsletter, teralynnchilds.com/subscribe. I'll put a link below. So that's what I have to say about Oh My Gods. And if you have any questions about the series or the books or the characters or the future plans, definitely pop them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. So I hope you liked hearing all about Oh My Gods. I'm hoping to do this for my other book series too. So look forward to that. And until then, stay magical.